Good morning. It's a beautiful day and I was hoping on doing some reading. This book is called Floating and Sinking, and it's kind of about a science experiment that some of you guys might have tried before, and I thought maybe we could do together today. So go ahead and read along with me. Floating and Sinking is our title, and I like the little upside down rubber duck. Floating and Sinking. This tells us that it's by Amy S. Hansen, so she must be our author. Here's our table of contents. It tells us what we're going to find and where it's at. All right. What floats? What sinks? That's our little title. It says, drop a dry cork in the water. What happens? It floats. All right. I don't want to take this book's word for it, so I went and got a cork from my house and some water. And we're going to test it out. Let's see if they're right. Oh, what do you guys see? It looks like they're right to me. I'll go ahead and scoop it out. Why do you guys think it floats like that? Look at that. Let's read on. Maybe it'll explain more. Now, drop a penny. It sinks. What makes one of them float and one of them sink? That's a cool picture of the penny. But guess what? I have a penny too, so we can try it out all on our own. Here's our bowl of water again. I'm going to drop it in. Oh man, sure enough, look, it went right to the bottom. I have to fish it out. I wonder why one floats and the other sinks. I hope the book will help me figure it out. Take a close look at the cork. Can you see tiny holes? Those holes trap air. Air is lighter than water. And here we have a great picture of the cork. Let's look at the one that I had. See all the little pieces of like wood stuck together? They have little holes in there. So the air is lighter than the water. Oh, here's another little heading. It says, what is density? Tiny air pockets are one of the things that makes the cork have less density than water. Anything that has less density than water will float. Oh, cool. And this little thing says, that means a cupful of cork weighs less than a cupful of water. Excuse me. It's very interesting. I wish I had a skill like that I could show you guys on. Now look at the penny. The penny is made of metal. Metal does not have the same little holes. Let's check it out. Do you guys see any holes? I see some water from our dunking, but I don't see any holes. I think they're right. Most metal has greater density than water. Anything that has greater density than water will sink. Oh, hey, we used greater when we were talking about numbers that are bigger in math. Greater density, more density. And this one says, a cupful of pennies weighs more than a cupful of water because of density. And you see, if we put it on the scale, the pennies would go down because they're so heavy. Here's our next heading. It says, does it float? Test some other things. Will a carrot float or sink? What do you guys think? Is it going to float or sink? Well, guess what? I found a carrot in my house. So let's give it a try. Ready? Oh, it sunk. It went all the way down to the bottom. I'm going to have to get it out. Oh, man. It sunk right down. So does that mean that it's less dense or more dense than water? This one says, how about marshmallows? Oh man, I didn't have any marshmallows at my house to try. But if you guys have any, go ahead and give it a test. And here it says, if you guess that a carrot would sink and a marshmallow would float, you're correct. How did you know? Here's another heading. It says, why do boats float? Other things float. Boats float. Some boats are made of metal. The metal pennies sink. Why do you think boats float? And it says the canoe skims the top of the water. What would make it sink lower? And you can see the canoe floating. Very interesting. Well, I have a little boat I made out of paper just for you guys. And even though paper is going to get messed up by the water, let's see if it floats like the canoe did. It does. Look at that. Why do you think that works? Why do you think that works? I'll take it out before it gets totally destroyed. And let's see if the book helps us out. Boats float because of their shape. Boat builders bend metal to make a big air pocket. The air pocket lets the boat float. Hey, we have a big air pocket in my paper boat too. It says a canoe has one big air pocket instead of many tiny air pockets like corks or marshmallows. Cool. Remember, the air is less heavy, less dense than the water. Big ships float too. A ship's air pockets are big enough to float the ship and the heavy cargo it carries. Check out this ship. Wow, I'd love to go on a ride on a boat like that. That's cool. And it looks like we reached the end of our story. It has some questions. It says, show what you know. A grape has more density than water. Does that mean it'll sink or float? What do you guys think? If you guys have a grape at home and some water, I think you should test it out and see if you were right. Number 2 says, can you think of something that will float in water? Again, think of something and then test it out if you have that at home. And lastly, number 3 says, why does a metal boat float? Oh, hey, I think the book kind of told us that. Let's see if you remember. All right, guys, thanks for reading with me and experimenting with me. I decided to try out one thing from home. So I went and got myself a little tangerine. What do you guys think? Is it gonna sink or is it gonna float? Ooh, it floats. All right, guys, let me know if you test out anything at home, whether it sinks or floats, and what does that mean? Have a good day.